Coming up on the Monday edition of Carolina Week.
I'm Tara Higgerson. I'll tell you how a national nursing shortage might affect North Carolina.
And I'm Philip Jones. The new Ram Village apartment complex on South Campus was built exclusively for juniors and seniors. But I'll show you why a new housing policy change could cause some upperclassmen to look for housing off campus.
In sports, the women's basketball team entered the weekend undefeated. Would an ACC rival break that streak?
Will we see wet weather for the next few days? Weathercaster Rob Ellis is here with that answer.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Good evening and welcome to the January 23rd edition of Carolina Week. I'm Shelley Basinger.
And I'm Crystal Calloway. The number of trained nurses in North Carolina and throughout the country is on the decline. But Chapel Hill might not feel the effects of this shortage just yet. Tara Higgerson is live in the newsroom with more. Tara?
Crystal, right now UNC is doing what it can to ensure that there's a steady rate of nurses graduating in the area. And officials hope that by admitting more students, they can help ease the burden of the state's nursing shortage.
UNC Cab 1, go Tar Heels.
Meet Elizabeth Dupree. She's a month and a half old and weighs less than 4 pounds.
She was born December 8th, 13 weeks early.
Despite a national nursing shortage, Mom Misty Dupree says her daughter received the attention she needed from the UNC nursing staff, and Elizabeth will be home by Valentine's Day. 10 years from now, Elizabeth and her mother might not get the same level of care. Health analysts predict North Carolina will face a shortage of 9,000 nurses by 2015.
The biggest number of nurses in the workforce are baby boomer generation, and the population cohorts that came after that were smaller and fewer of them chose to become nurses.
Chief Nursing Officer at UNC Hospitals, Mary Chung Jae, says right now they're well staffed.
We're holding our own and we're doing real well because we work so hard at it. But you know, I think it's going to become increasingly challenging for everybody as the shortage increases.
And to prepare for those shortages, the Board of Governors has asked the university's School of Nursing to accept more applicants.
With sufficient resources, we can educate about 60 more students a year, and that's what we plan on doing.
And Dupree might be one of them.
And having been in here and knowing my love for biology, I've actually considered I'm going to start back to school to do nursing in neonatal care.
For every student that the nursing school accepts, the officials have to turn away 4 qualified applicants. And the school says they can't accept more students until they receive more funding.
Tara, will the school receive the money to bring in more students?
Well, they're hoping so, Crystal. Last year, the state legislature denied a request by the Board of Governors to send more funding to the school. And so the school officials hope that this year, state legislatures will reconsider their request.
Tara Higgerson live in the newsroom. Thanks, Tara.
If you or someone you know hasn't gotten a flu shot yet, listen up. Flu season isn't over yet, but Student Health Services is out of flu vaccines and won't get more until next fall. Officials at the Orange County Health Department say their wait list for the next batch of shots is already full. Student Health Service Nursing Director Carol Kozel says the shortage has to do with the limited number of vaccines drug manufacturers are making. She suggests the following to stay healthy for the rest of the season.
Drinking lots of water and fluids to keep yourself hydrated. Certainly the other is hand hygiene that we talked about with hand washing. The other one is respiratory hygiene. If you've got the sniffles or the cough, would be using a tissue to cover your mouth.
Kozel recommends staying home from work and school when you're sick to prevent the spread of germs.
Early morning bus rides and lengthy walks to class have long been considered rites of passage for underclassmen living on South Campus. But all that's about to change because of UNC's new housing policy on campus. Reporter Philip Jones joins us from South Campus to tell us why. Philip?
Crystal, the sign behind me here at the Ram Village apartment complex on South Campus says juniors and seniors will receive priority when this new housing complex opens in the fall. But a new housing policy change designed to increase the number of freshmen and sophomores on North Campus has some upperclassmen feeling underappreciated. Sophomore Elizabeth Pascal has lived on South Campus in Craig Dorm for 2 years, and she thinks a sweeping new housing policy could mean she'll be there for a third.
But yeah, I'm just ready for a location change. I think that I've been here for, a good amount of time, and I've experienced this, and I want to experience all UNC has to offer, and I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to.
University housing officials plan on reserving half the 2,500 rooms on North Campus for underclassmen, an increase of 5% over this year. In addition, the real-time component of housing recontracting will be eliminated, so room and suite assignments will be random. The most controversial part of the plan? Assignment priorities will be flip-flopped. Incoming freshmen will now get first choice of dorms, while rising seniors will choose last. That's where Ram Village comes in. Assistant Director of Housing Rick Bradley says the new on-campus apartments were designed exclusively for upperclassmen.
Obviously, the new Ram Village apartment community that's opening for juniors and seniors played a role in this because we did build that property for juniors and seniors.
That's still not good enough for Pascal and the more than 400 other students who have signed an online petition seeking a reversal of the policy. But since the housing department says the policy isn't going to change, Pascal says she's not sure where she'll live next year.
It's not a very good position to be in, and of course I'm not very happy about it. But I'm just going to try my best to see what I can do to change it, or I'm still going to try for North Campus, and of course if I don't get it I'm going to be disappointed. But I don't know what else to do.
Crystal, housing officials say students like Pascal who will receive last priority in recontracting still have a chance to make it to North Campus. Bradley says they can be pulled in by someone who already lives on North Campus, they can sign up for theme housing, or they can apply to be an RA. At the Ram Village Housing Complex on South Campus, I'm Philip Jones. Crystal, back to you.
Thanks, Philip. If you'd like to sign the online petition, you can find a link to it on our website, carolinaweek.org. On Monday, Beta Theta Pi pled guilty to charges that the fraternity violated the Honor Code's hazing policy. Carolina Week broke the story and is continuing to investigate last semester's hazing incident at the fraternity house. We'll bring you new information as soon as it's available.
Chapel Hill law enforcement is trying to take a bike out of crime. Bicycles are a big target of thieves. Other than locking your bike to a rack, police say registering your bike is the quickest and most effective way to prevent theft. Bike registration is mandatory for UNC students, faculty, and staff, and should be completed by the first day of class every August. DPS spokesman Randy Young says having bike information on file can speed up the investigation process.
Certainly, we're able to operate in a way that is much more likely to get a bike back to a person.
You can also register on the DPS website, which you can link to through our website, carolinaweek.org. For many people, the new year brings new commitments, like joining a gym.
Coming up, we'll show you why it's important to read the fine print in your contract to make sure you know exactly what you're signing up for.
Mrs. Abruzzo, I'm Ed McMahon, and we're signing up people for... Yes, I am. Yeah. Miss Murphy, Ed McMahon. We're starting up... No.
Dreams really do come true.
Hombre, dinero.
No.
Con cámaras.
Yes, Ed
con
McMahon,
cámaras.
see.
Ed McMahon.
Yes, Ed McMahon. We're having our first
Ed
ever...
McMahon.
Yes. Tuesday night at the high school. We're starting up the neighborhood watch in this area, and here's all the information.
Stevie, get down here, please.
No, it's just
5, 6, 7, 8.
No tango dinero. Neighborhood watch. We're having this neighborhood watch, the first one. Right. I'll come back.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Start a neighborhood watch. It's just one of the many ways you can help make America stronger. To find out how, call or log on for this free guide.
It's the start of a new year, and many people hope to shape up in 2006. If you plan to join a local gym, make sure to read the entire contract, including the fine print. I talked to one UNC student who learned that lesson the hard way.
UNC senior Jordan McCaskill likes to head to the gym about 5 times a week to stay in good shape. In 2003, she joined Women's Workout Club in Chapel Hill. She checked a box on her contract that said renew automatically, so she could get 2 years free as a promotion from the gym.
If I hadn't checked the box, then I wouldn't have got my 2 years free. But who would have known they would have gone bankrupt?
Women's Workout Club sold all of its memberships, including McCaskill's, to another gym.
I had no clue on my contract that said anywhere they had the right to take my contract and send it to a new gym and automatically get me started with a whole new gym. That could be a different price, different everything.
The new gym was Ladies Fitness and Wellness, also in Chapel Hill. General Manager Kelly McLaughlin says staff members tried their best to appease their new customers.
For the people that were in the middle of their memberships, we gave them the option either of fulfilling their contract, whatever that time period may be, and just paying it out, or they could break the contract by paying a $50 cancellation fee, which is our policy.
McCaskill paid the fine and eventually joined a different gym. Consumer Protection Division lawyer David Elliott says nothing in the contract says a gym can't sell its memberships.
Without a statutory basis for getting out of the contract, there's no legal way to get out without losing that money.
Elliott is referring to the NC statutes, a part of the Prepaid Entertainment Contracts Act. The statutes describe how a gym is allowed to transfer or sell memberships. For example, the new gym must be within 8 miles, and it must be considered comparable to your old gym. McCaskill also had billing problems with ABC Financial, Women's Workout Club's billing company. Many gyms use billing companies to get payments from their members. When you sign a 1, 2, or 3-year contract with the gym, the facility sells your contract to a billing company and is guaranteed full payment.
They may have an individual who's contractually bound for 3 years, and so rather than waiting to get the money month by month for 3 years, they will sell that contract to someone, take their money up front.
Like the Attorney General's office, the Better Business Bureau also receives complaints about gyms. President and Eastern Bureau CEO Beverly Baskins.
Well, a lot of the questions and complaints we get about gyms at the Better Business Bureau have to do with contracts. And most of the time it's because the person who has signed the contract, the customer, hasn't really read it or doesn't understand it and hasn't asked the right questions.
Here's what you should do before signing a contract with the gym. Take a tour of the gym. Get a breakdown of prices. Know how the gym's cancellation policy works. Ask questions about anything you don't understand. And most importantly, read the contract. To make sure you have a good contract, ask these questions. Buyers can cancel their membership within 3 business days of signing a contract. Is there a buyer's right to cancel clause near where you will sign? The statutes explain how gyms are able to transfer your membership. Are the statutes clearly stated and bolded? McCaskill's right to cancellation clause wasn't near where she signed, but at the top of the next page. Also, the NC statutes weren't listed on the contract. She says her experience has taught her a lesson.
It's a big eye-opener when you sign something and it comes back to bite you, because I used to be like, oh, whatever, sign my name, give me all the discounts or whatever, but not anymore.
McCaskill also told me she never really felt comfortable signing her first contract. She says it's important to make sure you're making the best decision instead of just giving in to a promotion.
You might have heard that cell phones cause brain cancer, but that's actually not the case. The Institute of Cancer Research in London found no links between cell phone use and brain tumors. Researchers also found out how often you pick up your phone and how long you stay on it don't matter. All 13 countries involved in the study found no differences between analog and digital phones. Rural cell phone users typically use analog, which emits a higher power signal than digital phones. Are iPods hazardous to your hearing? Many experts believe they are. At UNC's Ramshead Center, many students listen to their iPods while working out. And though some wear headphones, most use the earbuds that come with their iPods. Experts say using earbuds instead of regular headphones can boost the intensity of music by 9 decibels, a difference that can hurt your ears. But UNC audiology professor Jack Roush thinks the real issue is how loud iPods can get, not what type of hearing device you use.
It's one that goes around the ear, one that goes down in the ear canal. The most important thing is the sound level that's reaching the ear.
Many experts agree that iPods can hurt your hearing because they can be turned up to 130 decibels, which is about twice as loud as a vacuum cleaner. Some of those students could be listening to WCOM radio, located in the heart of the Carborough Business District, with standard equipment like speakers, microphones, control boards, and an extensive selection of music. It's just like any other radio station, but this station has something different to offer its listeners. WCOM Radio is a bilingual radio station that's run by volunteers. Volunteers devote their time to enhancing diversity throughout the community.
State officials are looking to the public for help after last year's drought. Durham's Lake Mitchie didn't look like much of a lake last November. Although water levels have risen since then, Durham water management officials say we're still not in the clear. Public hearings about the proposed rules for future droughts begin this week in Raleigh. The rules will limit water use by government, businesses, and residents when future droughts occur.
You know, Shelley, I'm really surprised to hear that there could be any chance of a drought with all the rain we got earlier in the week.
Absolutely. Weathercaster Rob Ellis is here with us in the studio. Rob, it was really dreary this weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't the best weekend to be out. We had a lot of showers in the area, and the temperatures have cooled down a lot. But will this wet, wintry weather continue through the rest of this week? I'll let you know coming up after the break in your 4-day forecast.
Women's Center, may I help you?
The Women's Center is a nonprofit agency that has served as a meeting place for women in the Triangle since 1979, making it one of the oldest freestanding women's centers in the country. The mission of the Women's Center is to provide a supportive community where all women can inspire each other to grow, both personally and professionally.
I was going through a crisis at home, and I contacted Helpline, and they referred me directly to the Women's Center.
I think the Women's Center is really important for the community because it offers so many different kinds of resources, and if we don't have the resource here, we can find an avenue or a way for women to find the answers that they need.
It is inspiring. It's so exciting to be a part of something that really matters and really changes things.
You can support the Women's Center through membership or by sending a contribution to the Women's Center, 210 Henderson Street, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27514.
Well, thank you for joining us for Carolina Week Weather. I'm weather forecaster Rob Ellis. We started out this weekend with some lingering showers, kind of dreary conditions over much of this area throughout much of this weekend. But it does look like that after those showers pass through, a few of them are lingering around associated with a cold front. We will see some cooler temperatures in our area as this cold front passes through. And with those cooler temps, we're going to clear out some of those clouds, and we will finally see the sun return to our area. If we take a look at our national satellite map, you'll be able to see that over much of the southeast, we do have some cloudiness associated with the few low pressure systems and the cold front that move through our area. If we zoom in, you'll be able to see these areas a little bit closer on our southeast satellite map. You'll be able to see that these clouds extend all throughout the southeast. The lighter colored patches there indicating where we have the heavier thunderstorms and showers, and we'll be able to see that on radar. If we look at our southeast radar, you can see a lot of showers to our east along the coast of North Carolina, and also in the upstate of South Carolina we have some showers, and these are persisting throughout the area and lingering down into Alabama. But once this cold front pushes through, if we look at our surface map, you'll be able to see that behind the area after this cold front moves through, we will have high pressure in place, and we'll be able to see some clearing skies. You'll see that in our 4-day forecast. We'll see rainfall on Tuesday. That's going to continue as some of these lingering showers with a high temperature of about 45 and overnight low 37. And Tuesday morning, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a little bit of fog out there. But as we move into Wednesday, the cold front is past. We have a few clouds that are burning off. High temperature of 59, overnight low of about 32. And Thursday and Friday, we expect it to be clear, but temperatures a little bit more seasonable, around 52 degrees for Thursday. And as we move into Friday, 57. But our overnight low temperature is very chilly, so down into 25 and 28 degrees for Friday. So very cold, so you're finally able to get the clouds out of the way, but it's going to feel much more like January.
Well, hopefully we'll see some sunshine later on in the week. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob. Well, sportscaster Michael Crow joins us now with some details about that much-needed win for the Heels on Sunday.
Yeah, the basketball team squeaked out a win last night against Florida State, but coming up in sports, Roy Williams has been up and down with his young Tar Heel team. Can his veterans keep the team alive in the ACC?
Art can be many, many, many things. The North Carolina Museum of Art offers one of the premier art collections in the Southeast, and it's yours to discover. There's something for everyone. Works by classic and contemporary artists, a 164-acre museum park, an outdoor concert series, performances, and so much more. Experience all that art can be at the North Carolina Museum of Art.
Hey, there are a lot of ways we can help our community. Spending our money in Orange County, whether it's filling up the car or shopping at local businesses, helps maintain our roads, improves our children's schools, and creates jobs. Spending your money locally helps us all in a big way. So remember, shop Orange first.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Michael Crow. We might not win a championship this year, but the Heels will always be #1 in my book. Looking to bounce back from last week's home loss to Miami, just its second loss at home in 2 years, the men's basketball team took to the road to begin a crucial stretch in the ACC play. Reporter Brian Allen breaks down Carolina's big weekend, what went wrong Thursday and what went right Sunday.
It was a pivotal weekend for the Heels, up against two unranked but dangerous ACC teams on the road. The storyline of Thursday's 72-68 loss to Virginia was Carolina's second-half collapse. The Heels were outscored 26-10 over the first 9 minutes of the second half. Rayshawn Terry brought UNC to within 3 with a little less than 3 minutes to go, but the Heels couldn't hit the big shots when they mattered the most. Carolina shot only 2 for 14 from beyond the arc. But while poor three-point shooting doomed Carolina in the loss to Virginia, it saved them in Sunday night's tight victory over Florida State. Wes Miller, starting for the first time as a Heel, exploded for 18 points on 6 3-balls, including this huge shot late in the game to put the Heels up 1. Free throws killed Carolina on Thursday, but Rayshawn Terry made 2 with 23 seconds left to lift the Heels to victory on Sunday and split the weekend's 2 big games.
Moving to women's hoops, the team took on Florida State in Carmichael. The Heels were undefeated heading into this ACC match. The Noles came out swinging, jumping out to an early lead on strong inside play. The Heels fought back with leading scorer Erlana Larkins, who finished the game with 22 points, and with Ivory Latta, who kept the Heels ahead going into the second half. As if the close game wasn't enough excitement, mascot Mayhem entertained the crowd of more than 7,000 during halftime. Florida State didn't let down in the second half, however, making some big-time shots. Carolina head coach Sylvia Hatchell tried to pep her team up from the sidelines. The team responded well, winning 68-51. Hatchell says her team needs to be intense throughout the game.
I think when they start off so hot like that, I think we weren't as aggressive as we needed to be, and we were just a step slow getting a deflection or something. But I think the biggest thing was the rebounding. You know, I mean, I can live with everything else out there. And
the women's basketball players weren't the only women in action over the weekend as the gymnastics team began its home season.
Oh, Christine Robella is just an amazing gymnast, and I have fun watching her. I think she's just so much fun to watch.
Gymnastics fans got to take part in the fun at Thursday night's home opener against league opponent William & Mary. Christina Robella's performance wowed the crowd and showed why she was League Gymnast of the Week. She won the overall competition and took the first in the uneven bars and balance beam. Second place overall went to teammate Courtney Bumpers, who finished first in the vault and floor competitions. That was good enough for a huge UNC victory. With the win, the Tar Heels' record improves to 6-0, the return to action this Sunday.
I don't know, I'm just training really hard, trying to make something better each practice and each meet, so I guess it's kind of working.
Well, it wasn't the best of weekends for the head-geared boys in blue. It started as a rough night for Tar Heel wrestling. Both coaches and athletes showed frustration as NC State pulled out to an early lead. But after some encouraging words from head coach C.D. Mock, the Heels were primed to turn things around. David DeShiel brought pain, exchanged words, and amped the crowd. With the score 16-13 State, DeShiel's victory set the stage for a last-stand effort by heavyweight Spencer Nadolski. Nadolski's dominating performance closed the gap, and Carolina squeaked out a tie. Coming off the draw against State, the Heels took on number 25 Pennsylvania. They came out slow, losing their first 3 matches. Sophomore Justin Dobies couldn't break this pin. David DeShiel rolled around in a struggle but couldn't quite get the upper hand. He later injured his knee but finished the match. Tar Heel Athlete of the Week Spencer Nadolski had Carolina's lone win, That move finally put Carolina on the scoreboard. Junior Bobby Shaw, however, couldn't keep things going, and Carolina falls to Penn 33-8. Well, what's better than one 7-0 shutout? That's two 7-0 shutouts, which is exactly what the men's tennis team delivered Saturday against Campbell and Elon. Led by the country's #1 ranked dynamic doubles duo, Ryan Lucici and Brad Pomeroy, the Tar Heels began their season with 2 notches in the win column. Senior Derek Porter also posted singles victories against Campbell and Elon. Both the swimming and diving teams were undefeated heading into the weekend. The teams took on Virginia at home. The women got off to a great start, capturing 5 individual wins. Head coach Frank Comfort looked on as senior Lizzie Bruce won the 200-yard breaststroke in her final home meet in Corey Natatorium. These 5 individual victories weren't enough, however, to take the overall win. Virginia won 11 of 16 events and handed Carolina its first conference loss of the season. Well, it looks like the men's basketball team is on the right road now, and coming up in the Super Bowl, there are going to be 3 former Tar Heels playing for the Steelers. That's Jeff Reed, Greg Warren, and Willie Parker. Jeff Reed was actually a graduate from the journalism school here.
Hopefully those guys will make us proud in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It'll be good to see some Tar Heels moving on up in the world of sports.
Definitely.
Thanks, Mike. They've traveled around the world and now have arrived here in the Triangle.
After the break, we'll introduce you to some international exotic beauties.
Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, King of the Apes, Father of Boy. He knows what it takes to be a dad. You go for a ride, you take a swim, you hang out. All it takes is time. Hey, it doesn't take a hero, but it takes a man to be a dad.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
The Museum of Life and Science in Durham is popular among children, and understandably so.
When I recently visited the museum, what I found was a room filled with magical wings.
Things appear differently through the eyes of a child, and while adults share a common language, children have invented their own.
Butterfly,
Dile mariposa. Posa.
Whatever name you choose to call them, the Butterfly House is about 1,000 of the exotic insects. They're imported from countries in South and Central America, East Asia, and Kenya. The museum's director says it takes some pretty high temperatures to support plants and butterflies from these regions.
Because they used to grow in the tropics. 80 Fahrenheit, 80 humidity is what, if you want to have one of those in your backyard, should start and shoot for.
The Butterfly House needs to be as similar to the insect's natural habitat as possible in order for the butterflies to maintain their normal behavior.
A mother of a small child will ask, are those butterflies really doing what I think they're doing? And we say yes, and they say, well, how am I supposed to explain that to my 4-year-old?
The museum hopes it can help educate both parents and children about the butterfly's life cycle.
Crystal, that seemed like a really interesting time you had. All kinds of ages could enjoy all those exhibits.
It really was, Shelley, simply because there's other exhibits there as well. There's an aerospace exhibit, there's one on wildlife, so you can see pigs and alligators and everything. They were all there. I saw a bunch of things.
Wonderful.
I think I should go check that one out when I get a free chance.
Exactly, exactly. Well, hopefully, and also we'll be able to see some sunshine this weekend.
Yeah, those butterflies seem to be having a little bit better weather than we're having, but yeah, it'll definitely clear out this weekend, and it looks like the rest of the week will be great.
Wonderful. That does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Good night.